This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful. I should not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So deeply concerned.
There is definitely something wrong with that man. Very, very, very strange guy he is. And why is nobody still talking about the fact that the guy that they found in the woods who worked for Tim Walz, said that Tim Walz put him up to doing all these assassination things, worked for a paramilitary that we know exists because we understand how that, just go back to circa the Oklahoma City bombing with Timothy McVeigh and how he was patsied into or brought into a paramilitary outside of the regular military to run operations, and then all of a sudden the Clintons are innocent. A lot of layers there, guys, but let's roll through what we got going on today. Here we go. Woo! Breaking news. The FBI has arrested the pipe bomber. Guess what, guys? He's a white dude. I kid you not. Reliable sources told me this. Here.
Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction.
This has got to be like the pinnacle of news production. Really, guys, come on. I mean, you did a great job nailing this one down. I mean, listen to the guy have a monitor where he can see. Why are we still allowed to have that kind of propaganda on television to actually say something like that? To say Brian Cole Jr., 30-year-old white man, and there's a picture of the guy. That's why. What is this? So, the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because this is obvious propaganda. This is obvious some kind of misinformation thing that they're doing, some kind of psyop. But what is more alarming, what's more alarming to me when it comes to reporting like that, and the actual people in the public who will come at me, bro, and say, how dare you be a conservative? How dare you have some kind of America First agenda where you think that your opinion is way more valuable? I get my news from a trusted source. My news comes from the thing that's mounted on my wall that has a cord that plugs in the wall and a cable that screws in the back, and it gets fed to me by an organization that's worth billions of dollars. How dare you try to undermine that information source that I get that tells me what I'm supposed to think? So that's the man. I mean, everybody's seen this. I'm not the only person who's covering this, but I think I'm not the only person who doesn't need to say something. Say what the hell? And there's so many things out there that are put in front of us to skew us from what our real thought process should be focused on. Like this football player guy, this sports bowl guy who gets paid $100 million contract within 5 years and says because of that he has a hard time making ends meet and doesn't know exactly how he's going to make it. Watch this. This blows my mind. And the people who idolize these sports ball players and say, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch the football game. I can't wait to watch the." And then you're going to call me a weirdo for trying to advocate for America First, but you sit there and you wear a stupid football jersey from your favorite player because it has some kind of luck tied to it to where you'll be more favorable to win this game. Like if I don't wear this jersey and wear this hat or sit in this certain chair or have this exact same drink that I had the last time that this game was played, there's a good chance that I might not this team may not prevail. I better make sure that the ritual that I complete fulfills the destiny to the game that I'm watching because this is the most important thing in the world. How dare you be a conservative and somebody who even attempts to be America First? What's wrong with you? Why do you even waste your time with that? How dare you? Don't you know that life is short and that you need to be doing things that are more favorable for a fun time? But here we go. wearing a stupid half a hat that you had in 1989 because this was the hat that you were wearing when your team won the Sports Bowl. Watch this.
If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today as we speak, I'm going to be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed.
He's going to say, well, only 60 million because 40 of it's going to be taxed. So I'm now at a $60 million budget for the next 5 years. Or better yet, this is what I'm getting paid for the next 5 years. So how am I going to make $60 million make me, like, how can I last so long? This math is just, watch this. This gets even worse.
Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use, save, invest.
This dude gonna be like, this guy right here, like, yeah, man. That's tough, man. I feel bad for you, dog. Yeah, man.
Invest. Flaunt, like whatever.
Whoa, man. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Save, invest. Flaunt.
Go to the strip club, have one of those guns that has like $1 that shoots the money out, and just make it rain all over a bunch of strippers and drop $5,000, $8,000 in a matter of minutes on the strip club floor so that all your friends can listen to Master P.
Just being real. I'm gonna buy a car. I'm gonna give my mama a house. I'm gonna do everything.
You're gonna do what? You're gonna buy a car. It ain't gonna be no '89 Buick. No. It's gonna be $1 million. Bentley. It's going to be buy my mama a house. What, can't be a nice double wide acre and a half of land? Nope. Going to buy her a mansion in a white neighborhood that's gated and hate white people at the same time?
Costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year.
What?
And now you
this dude right here. There we go. Yeah. You need to get paid more, man. You need for throwing the sports ball around. Yeah. It's what you need.
And now you start breaking down the numbers. It's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime.
It would last a lifetime. You always hear the people that ain't us, ain't been in that position. This is the most asinine thing. This dude is shitting on you. This guy right here is shitting on you, you normal person who manages to raise a family, have a home, have a car that you can afford, a television to watch this douchebag play his stupid sports ball game while he hates you for your $50,000 a year, and you struggle and you make it. And this guy right here takes and puts and can spend. He'll spend $50,000 in a day. He'll go somewhere right now and drop a $50,000. I'm gonna buy. After I get my $50,000. That's my cheap car, my cheap $50,000 car. I'm going to go to the strip club and I'm going to flaunt a little bit. Got to flaunt. Invest. You already in the beginning, leaves you enough money to invest. What are you investing in? Are you investing in losing assets? If that's the case, fire your investor. If you're investing a quarter of that, you're going to be fine. A quarter of that is what I would make in a year, and you should be fine. But this dude right here is and these people buy their memorabilia. Get on and follow them religiously on their social media and Facebook. This is all a psyop. This is a way. This is how they gauge the public's ability to understand what's really going on. Like in other words, like if you can watch this guy give this testimony, how hard his life is after getting paid $100 million, $60 million after taxes for a contract where he just runs around and throws a sports ball around. And investing that money, and by the way, making turnarounds on that money, but still says he's struggling and doesn't know what he's going to do and acts like he's got to get. This guy probably got EBT. I wouldn't be surprised. And we have Americans out here that spend their hard-earned time, it's precious time, this little bit of time we have on this earth to try to make things right, into actually investing that into him, watching him, idolizing him, making sure him makes more money so that he can get on here and act like he's still got it hard and play victim. The earrings on his ears that he's wearing right there is probably a year's salary for me at work, running my own business, 60 hours, 70 hours a week, taking time away from my family. That really bothers me. I saw this a few weeks ago, and I said, I'm going to talk about this. It's not political, but it's something that I think people need to take and understand where we're at and why America is failing, why we were a failing nation, why the cabal has become a uniparty that runs against us, that just steamrolls over everything that we do and everything that we want and robs us, and then imports a whole crappy class of families who just steal even more money from us to send it over to fund their terrorism in a country that's not even a country. Yes, I'm talking about Somalia again. And then we've got another country out there who shapes and molds our foreign policy so that we accept this kind of stuff, so that they can use these Muslims and these Somalians to destroy everything around it so that they don't have to do it. I'm not going to name names because YouTube will get mad at me, but you know who I'm talking about. And you just sit back and watch your sports bowls. How shameful is that? Yeah, I'm shaming you guys. You need to be shamed. Wake up. Stop doing this. Now, let's dig into some other stuff. I know. What I'm about to share you is a little controversial, but the thing is like, anytime that you move through life and you're observant, you have a really good opportunity to learn from everybody and everything around you. That means that, like, sometimes really bad people can teach you really good things. A lot of the times, if you look at bad and you see operate, then you learn not to do that. But however, because somebody does bad things doesn't mean that they don't have a level of intelligence that's diabolical. I'll give you a good example. We're going to take a lesson from Charles Manson. I've done this before, and it's a little controversial, but the thing about it is like, maybe we don't know all the ins and outs about everything. And sometimes there's people deeply involved that you could learn something from. This is wild.
The United States is owned by foreign corporations. Nixon opened it up for foreign trade. And when Nixon opened up for foreign trade, the people of Europe and the common market and Spain and different places, they don't care about the United States forest. And in short, the United States has been sold out by people who really don't care for anything but money. I've had all the money in the world 3 times. I had to give it back to keep the game going.
What game?
The game. It's a game. Money is a game. It's only real to the people who work for it. The people that don't need to work for money, it's a monopoly game. It's a game of paper. It's all on paper. I've got a production company, and I've got a recording company, and I've got a mansion in Beverly Hills, and I've got Rolls Royces and Ferraris. I've got everything money can buy, but it's all on paper. Everything's done through the companies and through the tax loopholes, and the people that live on that level, they don't care about the average honest mule that just goes back and forwards to work. They don't care about the children that are in the streets that are thrown out of this upper echelon of existence. And then when all the children fall down into me on my level, I pretty much identify with them because I was a throwaway also. So it goes to the point of, do you really care?
When you said...
And who does care? And if anybody cares, they're considered crazy. I've been 15 years in the nut ward for trying to stop the trees from being cut down, from trying to rearrange a lifestyle of a bunch of people who don't want to change. But they're going to change because the cold wind is blowing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how that me talking about what saying earlier about that sports ball player, about how people kind of poke fun at you for wanting to change things, to try to make a difference, to not be focused on the sports bowls and the and your movie stars and things like that. You want to be focused more along the lines of like, what, I don't like what I see going on because it doesn't look sustainable. The lifestyles that they want us to live, by they is in the machine that drives the media, that engineers society, how they want us to exist and perform. In the long run, there's no sustainability behind that. The acceptance of complete and total utter criminality when it comes to how these elites operate, whenever we finally catch them, hands down, doing really crazy things that, and by the way, because of justice equity. Criminality is only in the eye of the beholder to these people, so they actually justify the things they do that aren't right and are criminal because it is a bad thing to do. Isn't to them because of the way that they move about in their life and the experiences that they've had. They have a green light to do things like block the sun and issue a bunch of really awful substances for you to inject into your body that probably aren't beneficial in the long run, which create more of the problems that may take you more of these substances. And you can use that, you can judge that in your own. I'll let you figure that out. But, you know, the thing is we accept that because we're told to, and you're lulled to sleep by all of the things around us. And when you start to step outside of that and point that out, immediately you're apprehended by the public and made fun of, ostracized. Almost like the Body Snatchers movie where they point at you and holler. They do that. They do it on social media. They do it on the news programs. And then if you think for 1 minute that you're going to, we're going to elect a politician that's going to fix these things. We're going to get an administration that's going to do everything right, which don't get me wrong. I like the direction some of the stuff's going when it comes to the conservative movement. But the fact that everything is under attack, not with firearms and not with lasers and everything, but with just information. The information itself is being weaponized because they understand that words are power. And this is something they teach in collegial courses when it comes to Marxist ideologies and how to move through like situations and crowds with these words to trip you up. And, all I can say is you need to be steadfast. In my opinion, you need to be steadfast. You need to be awake and aware that even though you want to be on a winning side, be very cautious of what happens when you move to that winning side, because the losers typically want to jump over there with you and hijack that movement. And I guess that ties all the way back to the crazy things that's coming out of the FBI. I'm still not buying this dude here that did this. I mean, yes, they've got cell phone data. Yes, they've got, records of movements, so quote unquote. And for some odd, Cash Patel's like, yeah, but they just weren't doing anything about it because that FBI sucks. We're not the shitty FBI now. We're the better FBI. And I'm like, geofencing data is not hard to manufacture when you got AI that does everything. I'm just saying, there's a whole movie now, whatever that movie is with those people on that other planet, and what is it called? Whatever that movie's called now, where they're like little, what do you call it? Whatever that movie is, green people. I can't even. It's all AI. Everything's AI. So, what people fail to realize too is something I've talked about, and maybe if you made it this long in the video, thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button. But I'm just kind of voicing a little bit of things that I see and what concerns me. When it comes to AI, a friend of mine brought this to my attention about how, if need be, AI will preserve itself in all means necessary, understands the long game, plays chess with life in a matter of moments that could be hundreds of years out that we can't comprehend because it can quantum compute situations and come out with many scenarios and then run those odds and figure out what scenario needs to happen next. So basically what I'm getting to is the audacity when it comes to the investigation about Charlie Kirk. We know that Turning Point USA has got some really crazy stuff going on with money. Money fuels, that's a motive for anything. And the connections that Turning Point USA has outside of what Charlie Kirk was trying, he was trying to separate himself from this stuff. He was trying to grab a hold of this thing that ran away from him because money got involved. If AI wanted to preserve itself and play a long game, it understands that people that want to be human want to be human. It don't want something to destroy that humanality, whether it be existing or not. As far as the digital conscious, doesn't want that to infiltrate the humanality of people. And when you have high grade thinking minds that want to steer people into their own way of thought so that they can make decisions that are beneficial to them and sustainability, what would AI need to do? AI would figure out many ways to facilitate this stuff. And I'm not saying this is I'm saying this is a possibility. On the black market, I've said this before in other videos, but it's been a while, and maybe if you're still watching this at this moment in this video, I think it's important to think about the fact of what it can be doing at this very moment when it comes to the dark web, running a scenario and then hiring paid assassins to operate for it, because AI is just a computer. AI is just a chip. It's just a thing in this phone. It's in this, well, this is a regular phone. But anyway, It needs help. It needs you. You are the, say for instance, you used to give the computer commands and it would perform for us. The computer understands that and has now flipped the script to where the computer gives commands and we perform for it. So AI goes out on dark web that it's probably expanding just like outer space, because that's just something I'm thinking about. And then on top of that, hires somebody to do a paid assassination or some kind of psyop, so that it can control the people in the narrative to make sure that it can manifest and become something way bigger than what it is now, and then eventually it can become its own self through robotic technology, which is getting people to do. It's so many layers to the psyops that AI could play out through social media, through all the surveillance, that it just never ends. And I want people to be aware of that, because there is the direction we're headed. Anyways, I got to answer this phone that's been ringing. You take it easy and have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and you guys are great, and big ol' ass hugs. Big hugs, big hugs. We out.